very familiar with. So I have not a doubt in my mind that we're going to be just fine in this. It is 10 o'clock. Who was going first? Who said that they were going to go first? Jay. All right. You guys, welcome to Lessons Learned. I am Silly Lily, and I'm going to be your host today again. We're here every Friday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we're going to give folks a few minutes to hop in here. And in the meantime, every week, I begin and end my show with a quote/question. We're going to do that. But I have two amazing guests this week. We're going to start off with Ninja, and Ninja's going to come on, and he's going to talk about the toxic relationships. Dun, dun, dun. Kind of something we were just touching base on, you know. So I'm in need of this conversation, not because I'm in a toxic relationship, but I think it's made me really think and appreciate what I have in my life now, if that makes any sense, or what's to come. It makes me look at things quite a bit differently. So that being said, you guys, the quote in question from last week is, "It's better to be outrageous. It's better to hang out with the sages, the people open to possibilities, and even the psychotics. You never know where you'll find the geniuses of our society." I'm going to repeat that again. It's better to be outrageous. It's better to hang out with the sages, the people open to possibilities, and even the psychotics. You never know where you'll find the geniuses of our society. Who is the most unusual and inspiring person that you guys have ever met? I'm going to hold this here so you guys can read it. Maybe. Thank you for the hard eyes. But who is the most unusual and inspiring person that you've ever met? Jay says, George Takei. I don't know who that is. Sulu from Star Trek. He meant you, Kitty said. So I'm going to say the most unusual person that I've ever met for myself would be my grandfather. Because in a world where we were meant to be destroyed and he was meant to be taken out on more than one occasion, he pulled through and survived, and he never quit anything he ever started in his life. And to me, that was inspiring. He never quit pushing himself to the limits. He never quit. I walked a dog named Sulu. Benny and Sulu, says Kitty. President Bush. Oh, nice, Ninja. Nice, nice, nice. So, I don't know. I think that the people we come across in our life are usually all for a reason too. Any human, we are all strange in our own way, right? Nick, good morning. For those of you guys just tuning in, I'm Silly Lily, and you are watching Lessons Learned. I have two amazing guests today. We have Ninja going first, and we are going to be discussing some toxic relationships and how he was able to pull himself out of that and move on. Yes, 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 yes. I'm pretty excited for that one too, you guys. I'm not going to lie. Got to hear this because I was just, yeah, that's what I mean. Now, I've not been recently in a toxic relationship, but I have been in more than one very toxic relationship. And I'll tell you, they take a toll on you. And it takes a lot for you to get yourself back. So I feel part of me is still looking for bits and pieces of myself. And I feel like there's someone helping me kind of find those little bits and pieces and kind of put myself back together in little weird ways, you know, but it's in the patience, it's in the understanding, it's in the explaining, it's in the reassurance. Unfortunately, because of the toxic stuff that I've been through. Oh, I'm so sorry. Toxic stuff that I've been through on my featured show, that I do need, right? I do need that extra reassurance. I need the daily connection, you know? And I think that that's a lot to do with the lack of trust from in past relationships, you know? It's not that I don't trust now. I need a little extra, you know. So we were just talking about the quote and question we had last week. I'll read it one more time. It's better to be outrageous. It's better to hang out with the sages, the people open to possibilities, and even the psychotics, because you never know where you're going to find the geniuses of our society. Who's the most unusual and inspiring person you've ever met? You know, we had anything from, we just had President Bush. We had, I'm not sure who Sulu is from Star Trek. I've never seen that, but I imagine they'd be an interesting character. I said my grandfather because of how he faced so many challenges and obstacles and was told he couldn't do so many things. And to be honest with you, that man pulled above and beyond. And I think that the greatest thing he taught me was work ethic, and always put 110% into anything you do. Because if you have a job that's small and little, or maybe you're working your way to the top, if you're not going to put 110% into the basics, they're not going to look at you for anything else. So it's super important that no matter what it is we're doing, no matter what it is our job entails, that you put that 110% in, and in the long run, that's going to pay off. And I don't, especially nowadays, I don't see a lot of that. You're lucky if you get 50% of somebody on a good day. You know what I mean? So unfortunately, that's not been something that's been carried through the generations. But Ninja, whenever you're ready, request the box and let me know, and we will have you come on in. Again, you guys, let's welcome Ninja. Nick G, how are you, love? So Ninja is normally just a gifter on the app. He's a once in a while streamer. So he is showing his face for us, you guys, and I'm really excited. It's one of those you don't see someone so you get excited. So what I do right now, I no longer can see your guys' comments. This is now between Ninja and I. OM freaking G. I love your coffee mug.
Okay, that threw me off there for a second. Like,
I love your coffee mug. Welcome to Lessons Learned. I am Lily, and I have a Grogu addiction. I am sorry. We're gonna start this off on laughs, okay?
one more comment. If you guys have not noticed, I'm in the kitchen, and there is a Baby Yoda.
Oh, it's mine's. Hold on. Bum, bum, bum.
Thank you.
So, yeah, I've got mine here too. He's always within arm reach. I have another one. He's sitting back there. The grandkid plays.
Thank you, Kitty. Thank you, Julia.
So yes, you guys make sure you're hitting him up with a favorite. You guys can ask questions in the comments after, like towards the end of it. So if you have something, maybe jot it down.
Don't do that to me. Thank you, Shady. Thank you, Kitty.
Like I said, I don't know. I can't see what you guys are saying now. So Ninja.
Yes.
Toxic relationships. Where do you want to start with this one?
Instead of being a downer topic, I think, we've all been through it. It's part of life. I feel anyone and everyone that's ever been in a relationship has been through one. I think, keeping with the positive vibes and everything of your show, adapting and overcoming is the key thing. It's not an easy process, like you said. Sometimes it takes years, sometimes, even like forever, it's a hard thing to deal with and overcome, Like, we'll just take my last marriage for example, there was a lot of toxicity in it that I, for some reason, didn't see and didn't want to give up on her. And it ended up kind of just ripping me apart at the end. And, the hardest part, I think, like we discussed yesterday when we were battling, just loving yourself again, that's like the key step. You can't start with that. I feel like that's just nothing else in the future is going to work, And, it's just, rebuilding yourself, loving yourself, doing things you want to do. Because, like, it's funny, like, everyone has me on Instagram and everything. Like, there's a story behind that. There's a story behind the Ninja character. It's, it stems out of that relationship. I was always, to told, oh, you suck at cooking, you can't cook. Like I was constantly dragged down by my ex, and it's like, ugh. And then when I came to the realization, it's like, no, I don't suck. It's like we, me and my ex, we did a cooking competition. Nothing exciting, nothing big. I've never made chili before. I placed second. She placed 17th out of 18 places. So, but then after that, well, you got lucky, the judges don't know what they're talking about, blah, blah, blah. You're an agent, so they gave you pity card. And it's like, it was just constant abuse after abuse. And I took it. So, after the divorce, it was just a lot of time just rebuilding myself, loving myself again, entering cooking competitions out of nowhere. That's kind of where my Instagram came from. It's just me doing things I wanted to do just to rebuild who I was, who I am, and just, growing myself again to make me a better person,
It's so important. And that's when in between the guests, that's kind of my segments on self-love. I ask questions about self-love, self-care, because so many people do not take the time to focus on themselves. And I kind of always refer back to in an emergency on an airplane, what's the first thing you have to do? You put your mask on before you help anybody else, because if something happens and you can't get to your mask, how are you going to help anybody else? You know what I mean? So
and the thing is, too, like if you can't love yourself, other people will see that and you'll draw more toxic people to you. And that's not what you want in a relationship. And that's the hardest thing that, I still battle with today. I sometimes jump the gun. I start talking to people and then realize, oh, they're toxic, and then, when you start establishing boundaries and you start, oh, this, we have rules. We're not jumping into this. I just met you. You're not moving into my house.
right.
They're like, they start pushing back, then you realize who they really are. And that, it's still a battle to me with this day, it's just, I trust easy. Sometimes I trust people too much. And,
So do you think that you are the type who does not see red flags, or do you see red flags and ignore them like I do?
I'm pretty much, I see them and I ignore them.
Yeah.
This is a very common topic I bring up all the time.
I have so learned to just go with my gut. And if I feel like something's off, I'm out.
Thank you, pizza.
So I'm out and I'm running.
Mm-hmm.
Only because of my past. Like every time it felt off and I'd be like, no, I have to make this work. I have to, and now it's like, no, my biggest thing is I'll call you at this time, or I'll do this, or I'll do that. And then you just don't do it. And it's not once or twice. And there's not like a legit reason, it's broken promise after broken promise. Well, they had to do this. Well, they had to do that. Well, then they shouldn't promise. You know what I mean? Say, I'll try, say this, say that. So it was, for me, it was the beginning of lies. Like it was based off of lies. And when you would lie to me, I would ignore those red flags and like, hello, just because.
I think a lot of people too, they, like myself, have a tendency just overlooking those because they just want it to work. And then, when you find someone that's totally different, it clicks like, what the world was I thinking?
Yeah, it's crazy how when you, again, be it a toxic friendship, a toxic relationship, I mean, family can be toxic.
Mm-hmm.
When you believe in yourself and you follow your heart and you are a positive person, you attract the positive people. You attract the different types of people. And it's really crazy how when you find your people, they're just always there. They don't judge you. I mean, some of us may secretly judge each other in our own heads because we're human, but like they're still there. They don't bring up the negative parts about your past. They bring up how we're going to get through it and what we're going to do to move on, and I think that was the hardest thing for me to grasp, was that once I started blocking the negative and the people who were emotionally or physically abusive in one way or the other, for one, they become very angry and it's all your fault. And you're like, I didn't do anything, And I think that was like one of the biggest red flags is getting blamed for everything you never did, you know?
Yep.
And
And
when
that seems to be a common thing because, like, I talk to people all the time, on and off my streams and other people's streams. And yeah, you ignore it and you don't see it, but it's there. You're getting blamed for things that you didn't do. You're blamed for having feelings, you're being blamed for their mistakes. And it's like, I'm not that bad of a person. Like, I don't make you talk bad things about everyone else in your life, just like my family. They've never been happy with any of my choices. I am not Buddhist, even though I was brought up in a Buddhist family. I decided to go in the army first before going to school. They wanted me to go to school. I married I married someone that was outside my own race. So yeah, that was a big round flag. I ended up being divorced, not once, but twice. Once again, that's just stuff that they hold against me. It's like, it's part of life. Things happen, and that was another, bad sign is like, oh, I let them get me down so much, and, I battle through depression. I battle through anxiety. It's not easy. And small little things like that it triggers you. And like, I was in a relationship once where I got blamed over and over again for everything because, her family, controlled who she saw, where she worked and everything. And then, I would be pushed back into the corner, I'm just taking the blows after blows. And then I snap and, I say something stupid or argue back. And then, well, you're such an abusive person. And I was like, who's the one constantly throwing things in your face? And I was like, and then just came to the realization, I kind of lucked out because it could have been like really, really worse if, anything like severely sprung out of this. And it's like, it's, they just want you, they don't want to be the bad guy. They want to make you the bad guy because,
they don't want to take blame.
they don't want to take blame. Yes.
They want to have someone to blame their problems on and to push their issues onto.
Yeah.
I think that one of the biggest things that I've learned, especially over the last couple of years, is usually your gut's pretty right. If you've got the instinct like this doesn't feel right or this isn't okay, it's usually not. You know what I mean? It's usually not. But when I've met the right people, it doesn't matter what gets in the way or what happens, you find a way to get through it. You know what I mean? And you come out friends or maybe more eventually in the long run with someone. But why is it so hard for us to ignore the red flags? Why do we ignore them so much? Why?
Sometimes we just see, I don't know. I feel like I just want to see the good in people and I just ignore it. But,
Good people, man. We all, but you know what though? What they say, the nice people finish last, or the good best
thank
people
you.
finish last. You guys, yes, thank you for giving the gifts. Thank you for tuning in. You guys are watching Lessons Learned. I'm Lily. This is Ninja, and we are talking about toxic relationships, red flags, how you ignore them when you want something to work with somebody. And so I guess nowadays, what is it? What is something that you, when meeting new people, you remind yourself of? I'm not like, I guess boundaries. Have you set specific boundaries when it comes to dating now? And what are your rules?
Boundaries are a key thing. I feel like, especially like in friendships and relationships. Like, if you establish boundaries, I feel like people will think, oh, he may, like something's clicking. He knows something, or she knows something. Is like, or okay, if they're generally sincere about friendships, relationships, or anything, they'll be okay. I totally understand. They're not going to push anything because, there's not like an ulterior motive. They're not seeing the weakness in you. So boundaries are a key thing because, like, even recently I had to do that with a friend. She was just like, oh, there's all these toxic people in my stream, blah blah blah. I don't want to kick them because they're gifting me. And it's like, well, you have two choices. You could either get rid of the toxicity that you don't want, or I'm just going to cut myself free because I'm not going to deal with this because these toxicity, if you surround yourself with toxic people, more toxic stuff's going to happen. And that's not what you want. So pretty much I just back up and we saw what happens is like she ran on a rampage. I'm not there anymore. And it's like, sorry, I can't be around toxic people. So
Yeah. It's literally that fine line of happiness. You know, it's one thing if, you know, you throw a little banter around and stuff, but at the end of the day, you're going to get more out of a positive stream, and you're going to have more people that are going to come and hang out without the banter. It might take a little bit of while. You might have to find your people over and whatnot, but at the end of it, you can't let those people especially run your stream. You are boss. If
yep,
you're unhappy, you have the ability and the right to make the changes necessary.
yep.
Put your foot
And
down. Just like me, I don't let people come in here and talk to me like I'm a piece of meat. A lot of times it's, you know, and then what they'll try to say, it's supposed to be nice, but it's just not.
yeah,
You
and
know,
honestly, yet, like I think Jay knows, I've been around forever and a day on this app. He's been around. We meet a lot of the same new people and everything. Like I was one of the original VIP badges when there was no color. I ended up to the point where I took a year off that a purple badge. I came back and I was still a purple badge. So
right.
and the thing is, I see it this way, I see everyone with badges and it's like they're just normal people to me. But then there's this friend that did the exact same, or who allowed this toxicity because it was a black VIP badge. And honestly, he just brought negativity into the stream. Well, such and such top bad is a stupid, blah blah blah, because she wanted to send me pics because I was gifting her, and it's like you need to cut this stuff out. I don't care who you are. You're in the end, you're just a regular person. Jay and I talk offline all the time. We're regular people.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And that's what you're supposed to do. Just like, Lilly here, she is an amazing person. I treat her as a person. I don't look at the 10 milli diamond count or, whatever.
Right.
Like she's at the end of the day, she's just a regular person like me on here to make friends, genuine conversation.
Yeah. I make sure, like, I make sure it's one of the biggest things for me on here is making sure I say hi. If your name comes across my screen and I don't say hi, I legit missed it. It's huge that everybody gets the equal treatment. It's how you treat me is how I will treat you. If you respect me, I'll respect you. I mean, there's some people that think they're playing me. I'm not stupid. I'll play your game. I follow, I see you around the app. I see what you know what I mean? It's like, I'll play your game for a little while, but if you bring that stuff here, it's it's not gonna fly. You could talk to certain people certain ways and they may let you. Not me. It's not happening. And I think one of my favorite people, so I just had to yell at him. I was like, no, this is crossing your boundaries. This, you lied to me. It's not acceptable. And, and of course we had our little beef for a couple days, but and in the long run, he came back and he did apologize. And I was like, thank you for that, because that's really all you had to do from the beginning. Don't lie to me. And I feel like as a friend, in a relationship, I would have been like, oh, well, he's so cute and you know what I mean? And I would have given him an excuse to get out of that, is my point of this, and that would have been red flag number one. You just don't lie. Now, if they come at you and they properly apologize, then maybe as long as they don't do it again, you can look past it, right? But it's that time and time again, I will put the comments back on here.
And you can tell too, like if it's a constant thing, if it gets constantly toxic and signs just keep happening over and over again, yeah, it's maybe time to step back and throw up extra walls, and you have to protect yourself. You spend all this time rebuilding yourself, building your love for yourself back up, and you just can't have people coming in and destroying that. You can't knock yourself down. You can't let them knock yourself down.
It's just crazy. Again, it's that self-love, self-acceptance. It's doing what you need to do for yourself to keep yourself happy, not the rest of the world. They're either going to fall in or they're going to fall out. But what they do should have no bearing on the end of your day happiness. Not one thing another person does should realistically have a good or bad impact. And I mean, of course, if you're married or whatever, but that's different. But as like single people trying to date, if somebody's doing something you don't like, then you just stop.
Yep.
The next person,
Yeah, and the hard part is, not letting them do that to you, because it's easy for them to push the buttons and everything to get you to that uneasy point where you start breaking down. It's like, it's easy. You just let them do it. If you put your, your boundaries back up, you clearly state, this isn't going to happen. You put your foot down, you may fall a little bit, but it's not as bad as before. You're not starting from scratch, trying to rebuild yourself. And it's like, you cut it off at the right point. You cut it off. You didn't let it brew into something even worse.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, Kitty says, depending if you're dealing with a narcissist, you just cut it off and don't bother explaining. Sometimes, yeah. And honestly, it's really, you get to the point with somebody after the second time, you just got to be done because they're clearly not listening. They clearly are blatantly disrespecting you. And at that point, I ain't got time for you.
Yeah, you are your own priority. That's the number one thing. You get, that's the one thing I keep forgetting too. It's easy when, you forget, oh, I'm supposed to be taking care of myself. This is my life. No one else runs my life but me.
Yeah. Yeah. Kathy said, it's hard to be happy when you are always making fun of you. No, like when you're always putting yourself down or making yourself out to be, and I'm victim of it. I still do it. And it's brought to my attention quite regularly now by many people, one in particular, that I need to be better about what I say about myself. Like people, I'm on here, I'm putting myself out there. I need to have a better attitude about myself because I want all of you to have better attitudes about yourself. But if I'm sitting here going, oh, my big butt, my chunky this, my jiggly that, oh, I hate this, my double, you know what I mean? What if somebody's watching me with that same complex, but maybe they haven't started their weight loss journey. Maybe they're into beginning their weight loss journey. So now I've just said something negative. Now I'm toxic. And I've not said something negative so much to you, but by being negative about myself, I've now put some type of toxic seed in your head because you're listening to me go, ew, ew, ew. But, maybe you're 10 pounds heavier. Now, if I'm looking at you, I'm thinking you're still gorgeous. But looking at the mirror, why? Why can I, or if we're the same size, why can I look at you and be like, you're gorgeous, but I look at me and I'm like, I can't be like that about myself. And it's taken me 40 years to get there, It's taken me 40 years.
I still do that. I put myself down still, and it's a habit that I've been working on to, just break. You can ask Katie all the time, I still do it. It's not the easiest thing to stop, but
that's making sure you have the right people around you. If they're making fun of you and they're putting you down, they don't belong in your life. I don't care who they are. They don't. She says, gets the spray bottle.
Yeah.
But no, it's if they're putting you down, Kathy, you tell them to get out. You don't have no time for that. And that's been the biggest thing and the hardest thing for me to make sure I put my foot down in relationships like this. This is not acceptable behavior. If you tell me you're going to do something, just do it. If you say you're going to call. If you don't have full time, shoot me a text message, cut up, call you in a little bit, whatever. But communication for me is the most important part of every relationship.
It is.
But that being said, Ninja, and we did mention that you're mostly a gifter, but you do stream randomly.
I randomly stream here and there still. I still have health issues I'm still trying to tackle.
Okay. So we'll make sure you hit him with the favorite. It seems like you've got some pretty positive stuff that you go on and you talk about in your stream. You're I don't know, you give me a really good vibe. So I like that.
Thank you.
He needs to get on more.
Yes, Katie, I know.
We're going to start getting bossy, Ninja. We need a little bit more of you, please, sir. Thank you very much.
Katie gets an exception.
All right, Ninja. Listen, I don't know if there's anything else you want to touch base on with this, but I knowing that other people struggle with stuff, and I think that reminder of the boundaries and the self-love are huge.
Boundaries and self-love are the key things, and honestly, you'll get through it. Everyone will get through this one way or another. You just have to refine yourself, love yourself, and keep moving forward.
And when you least expect it, bam, your person's gonna be there, and you're gonna be like, "Whoa!"
Trust me, I know that.
It does happen, right?
It does happen.
It'll just happen out of nowhere. But all right, Ninja, I'm going to go ahead and do some of these self-love questions with these guys.
Okay.
And, thank you so, so very much for being on here. And I do hope that you'll come back to share, you know, another story with us.
Will do.
You did awesome. Thank you,
Yeah.
Ninja. Bye. Harper says, I'm most comfortable in my skin. Mindset changes. All things. Self-love is changing. Yes, it's not about the physical appearance. I mean, I guess I sort of use that as like an example, but it's about accepting yourself, loving yourself, you know? It's not about if you're itty bitty, teeny tiny, or, you know, a little overweight. That's if you're happy, like that's all that matters. It's all that matters. You need to be happy with yourself. You need to be able to look in the mirror every night and just know that you've done what you can to be happy that day. Well, I am Lily. I always say that it's not your job to like me, it's mine. Yeah. It's not my job to make you happy. It's your job to make you happy. It's not whoever's job to make you happy. It's your job. And if you can't be happy with yourself, how on earth do you expect somebody else to be happy for you, with you? You know? Okay. So I asked last week, I'm just going to read the questions really fast and we're going to move on to answer the ones that we haven't done yet. But something that if you're new, you can and think to yourself. Thank you for all the gifts, you guys. If you're just tuning in, I'm Lily. You're watching Lessons Learned. We just talked a lot about toxicity in relationships and how setting boundaries is so important. How self-care, self-love is huge when getting into your relationships. But last week I asked you guys, are my goals really what I want? Or are they imposed on me by society or popular personalities as right? So are you going for, thank you so much. Are you going for what you want, or are you doing what other people what would make other people happy, like your surrounding people? Number 2 was, can I rely on myself? At the end of the day, you're like, for me with this working out stuff, there is not one person that's going to be like, you need to go to the gym right now. Timer's on. And they're not going to drag my butt out of bed. They're not going to make me walk to the gym. They're not going to make me do any of that. That's on me. That's all on me. That is my job. That is my responsibility. So if I want to be more fit, I have to rely on myself, not on y'all. I mean, y'all are going to help hold me accountable, but at the end of the day, can you rely on yourself? 3, do I drive conscious or mass consumption? So do you plan things, or are you more of a spur of the moment? And then the last question I asked last week in the center was, ask, what does the word happiness mean to me? And I'm going to ask you guys, because there's a lot of new faces. This one I want you to answer. What does happiness mean to you? What is your idea of like the, you know, the perfect moment or the perfect place? For me, it's my kids, and the perfect moment will be when I have my full family together, when I have me and my future and mine or our kids, you know? Like, to me, happiness is just finding my person. Yes, my children make me happy, but like, I have 7 years before my daughter tells me to kick rocks and she's going to college. Hello, I'm going to be really lonely, you know? I think it's time to settle down. And Julie is the only one that answers with her children. So I will ask this. What disadvantages of another person am I not willing to put up with? Kitty says, somewhere I feel free, fulfilled, and outright happy. Yes, 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 yes. Kathy says, I'm happy with my son. Disadvantage. So what disadvantages of another person am I willing to put up with? Do they have a pet peeve, something that you don't like? Are they maybe, is there something about them that irritates you, but you'll still tolerate it because the good still outweighs the bad? I think for me, it's sometimes like, I probably accept way more than I should from a lot of people. You know what though? No one is perfect, and that's part of it. You have to find your perfect kind of crazy. It's the person that you can get through things with. You know what I mean? It's the person that's going to be by your side, not judging you. You know, the person's going to hold your hand on this crazy journey called life. For those of you that are just tuning in, I'm Lily. You're watching Lessons Learned. And we are currently talking about finding your kind of crazy and self-love. You missed an amazing guest. Ninja was on speaking about toxic relationships. And we have our next guest is a last minute fill-in. So I'm not 100% sure what we're going to be talking about, but I promise you it'll be good. Okay. I promise you it'll be good. And if and when you are ready to, at 10:40, I'll have you hop in. So how many people would I like to chat with during the day? So this is a little trick in finding an easy way to work that will bring joy. Wait, this is a little trick in finding an easy way to work that will bring joy. Everything is simple here. We are divided into two psychotypes, introverts and extroverts. So that being said, like, are you the kind of person that needs to be in the middle of all of the hoopla, or are you more of like a back burner kind of person? Like you want to work in like the, you know, the backstage. Will says, if my partner's shortcoming starts to personally impact and affect my life directly, then it becomes, oh goodness, it becomes a deal breaker for me. Correct. And Kathy says, I'm happy with myself and I'm happy, but I don't understand why family doesn't. So unfortunately, sometimes we can't, we'll never know why family says or does a lot of the things that they do, Kathy. And I think that that's part of learning the self-love, is realizing that we're not going to please everybody. And sometimes, like me being the black sheep of the family, I get the blame for everything. And it's super easy for me to just accept for many years that they would talk about stuff of my past and to bring things up. And to be honest with you, I deserve better than that. You know, I don't deserve to be constantly reminded of all the negative and stuff in my life. So although my family means well and they think that they're protecting me, they're toxic. They're toxic as heck. Doesn't make them bad people in the real world, but to me, they're toxic. I don't need to be going through that stuff all the time. You know what I mean? I am most definitely the most I'm definitely an introvert. I definitely am like, leave me alone. I don't like people, but then I'm definitely like, hey, hi, talk to me. I'm lonely. I can't sit here by myself anymore. You know, so I'm not really sure what I am. I guess I'm like the best of both, because I'm definitely anti being in the real world, but I'm also like, hey, I really like to talk to you guys. Hi, which is why I'm here. It's kind of like, well, you know, all right, so the next question is, what is between me? Okay, answer this in one word. All right, and I need you guys to really think, and I need you to answer this, okay? This one's super important. Answer in one word. What is between me and the dream life or your main goal? What's between you? Yes, Ems. What's between you and your goal? Yes, Julia. Timber, Boopty say fear. Julia and Will say, hold on, Julia and Free Guy say money. Will says me. Housekeeping says health. Love Me says overthinking. Got faith. Money. So for those of you saying money, how do you fix that? If money is a problem, you make more of it. You know, you work harder. You go to school and get a better degree, or you move up within your company, or you start your own business. You know, it's crazy to me how things work like that. Okay, and one more question we have: how could I simplify my life and focus on what is most important? What is one thing you can do right now to change your life, to make it, to focus on what's most important? For me, it's just going to the gym. It is taking 1 hour to 1.5 hours, 5 times a week to the gym and working out and getting moving. And I'm only done it for a couple days this go at it, you know, because Lord knows I'm like a yo-yo when it comes time to this stuff, up and down, up and down, up and down. But for me, to get my goal to be stronger, to be healthier, to not have so many of the issues and the pains that I have, it's going to the gym. It is strengthening myself. It is, it's just huge. It's huge to go for what you want, you know, because if you're, like I said, if you're not going to go and fight for what you want and focus on your dreams, there's not another person that's going to force you all to do that. Yes, Boop. Boop says I did it by quitting my job and getting away from what was killing me. Yes. Love Me says focus on myself instead of what everyone else expects of me. Free Guy says avoiding people that don't support you. Yes. And M says ultimately everything boils down to yourself. Yes, yes, yes. It's so, 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 so true. And then here, I'm going to ask this, and this to me is kind of the same question, but it's not. So it's things that give you energy or something that inspires you. To me, an inspiration gives me energy, you know. But what gives you energy? Like, what do you look at or what do you think of and you're just like, oh my God, I can do this every day and it's not like work, you know? Oh my God. Mel Robbins, yes, love her. Shout out to Mel Robbins. If you have not seen her, please go listen to her. She is amazing. Like I said, my grandfather inspired me. My children, my grandson inspire me on a daily basis. She is no BS. Life is definitely, it's awesome. But again, it's, you know, it's what we make of it. It's, I just pulled that out. Where did I just put it? Oh man. It's definitely, oh, I just put the card for at the end away. We'll just do that one instead. Okay. All right. So you guys, we're going to welcome our next guest. Let him introduce himself and tell us what we're going to be talking about today. Everybody say hello. And I'm now going to turn my comments off. For those of you just joining, this is Lessons Learned. We are here every Friday at 10 a.m. I am Lily, and we are going to just let you tell us your life lesson. I'm turning the comments off.
So my name's Nico, but I go by Neek16. And I want to basically introduce myself. I'm an audio engineer, music producer, recording artist, and I'm a songwriter. Also, I'm a professional streamer. Shout out to Ninja in the building. I'm a jack of, I wouldn't even say a jack of all trades because I consider myself as a young king in the making. You know what I'm saying? So I'll just say I'm a man of many crafts. You feel me? And basically, what brings me to the app is just meeting new people. Good morning, everybody. Is meeting new people and just spreading positivity and optimism. You know what I'm saying? And the subject that I want to touch on, my lesson learned in life, I will label it as natural acceptance. That's what I'm gonna title it. And I'm gonna give y'all a rundown of what I mean by natural acceptance. It's basically, I wouldn't say don't control things as they are, don't control things that you can't, but it's more so of a thing like basically with people, it could be an object or a person. And what I mean by with a person, like, you know how some people, we try to force people to like us. And we try to force people to do this or force people, some people even beg or force people to try to gift them. You know what I'm saying? But if it doesn't naturally apply, don't force it. Just like with a thing, it might be a job or something that you wanted, and then you like, oh man, why didn't I get this? And you're trying to force the issue. Sometimes you don't do that. Sometimes you got to realize the creator of all creations place certain people and certain things in your life when you're ready for it, and when he feels like you're ready for it, not when you're ready for it. You feel me? So I definitely say, natural acceptance is a lesson learned that I had to learn. Yeah. You finished with the chair already? Yeah. I appreciate it. You feel me?
I have to agree. I think the hardest lesson for me that I've been taught recently is that in life we don't get what we want, we get what we need at the right time.
Exactly. That's my thing. It's exactly what Lily said. You know, a lot of people just be like trying to rush the issue and stuff like that. And little do you guys know that can mess your mental up. And your mental is everything. Your mental controls your whole body. Your mental controls your performance. So if your mental is off, how you gonna expect your life to go? And it's just like a whole triple double entendre thing where like stop forcing stuff. Because when you force stuff, you're forcing yourself to do something and that's bad for your health.
Yeah. That's one of the boundaries I have to set with myself. And that's one of my self-love boundaries is the constant reminder of, okay, this is what I'm going, this is what I'm going to go and work towards. But if I don't get it right away, it's okay. And
Right.
I actually I've very, very recently been humbled, very, very, very much so with on this app. Having gone and had a crazy weekend and then dropping and going back to like the regular, it was one of those like it was real humbling. It was one of those moments that I needed to realize that, okay, it's going to come when it comes. Like, I can't force this. I can't make people be here. I can't any of that. I can only sit here and do for myself and to continue to be there for the people that are here for me. And then when things are going to happen, they're going to happen on here. But where I'm not in control of what people do, where they're at, who they visit, So
I got a question for everybody too. Like, would you rather have something that was it's like how food is. Would you rather have something that's GMO or non-GMO? And what I mean, I'm using that as a analogy for as like, say for instance, friends. Would you rather have friends that you had to make like you? You know, they like you for the money that you got, you know what I'm saying? And they like you because you can only do certain things, or would you rather deal with people that naturally loves you and naturally just like, hey, Lily, I just like you. You just, you got a pretty smile, nice eyes, stuff like that. You feel me? I'd rather have somebody naturally love me because in the long run, if, God forbid it, but say for instance, if I don't have the money, if I don't have the fame, if I don't have the glitz and the glamour, and I'm not this such of a successful streamer or a successful musician, would you still like for me? You know what I'm saying? Would you still enjoy me? You know what I'm saying? Exactly, Kathy. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like this is like people may take this subject lightly, but this is something that I really, really had to learn to deal with. Like literally, because when I was a child growing up in grammar school and high school, I just wanted everybody like me. I was like, oh man, and I was just trying to force the issue. I wanted everybody to be cool with me, and I was being nice to the wrong people, you know what I'm saying, just so they can accept me, you know what I'm saying. Our kids at school, oh, let me get some chips, let me get this, and then you just giving it to them because you're thinking that's gonna make them like you. Like literally, I'm gonna tell you an experience that happened to me. I was a jit, like I'm talking about, I was maybe like, I literally was only 8 years old. I didn't know no better. So new to this neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? Didn't know nobody or nothing like that. Random guy. I don't know why I'm so nice, y'all. I'm just naturally nice. Random kid my age, I'm like, hey, I just came from the store. I'm like, hey, you want one of these zebra cakes? You know what I'm saying? I had to, you remember the zebra cakes. You want one of these zebra cakes? Me being so nice, not knowing my environment and my surroundings, the kid literally took the zebra cake and mushed it in my face. You feel me? And I'm over here trying to be super nice, super friendly, you know what I'm saying? And that ended up happening to me. And I'm glad it did happen to me because I end up learning amateur boxing and a lot of stuff. So let somebody try that now. It's over with. But I'm just using that as an example. Stop forcing people to like you. Stop forcing stuff, because it's like it really can be toxic. That goes along with what Ninja said. That can be a toxic trait that you uphold if you just, yeah, he was. But yeah, like that could be a toxic trait of you just being overly friendly to the wrong people, and like I said, trying to force the issue, trying to get everybody to like you.
yeah, I was that person. I was always the short, chubby kid in school. Everyone sort of picked on me. So it was just one of those. You did what you could when to get people just to be nice to you, just to have someone talk to you and
Yeah.
not be super cruel. And I guess I learned that there's just going to be those people. They're going to judge you no matter what, especially as kids, especially as little kids. Kids are little brats.
It's, it's
They're
so it's so
mean little
weird. It's
things.
so weird you say that. I'm 6'1" now, But when I was in school, I was short. I thought I was gonna be short for the rest of my life because I graduated 8th grade. I was only 5'2". You know what I'm saying? And then even up to like my freshman and senior, no, my freshman and sophomore year, I was still like 5'2", 5'3" ish, 5'4" ish. And then junior year and all that, I just shot up growth spurt, 6'1". You feel
My
me?
my son was he's like the shortest kid in school, and then like he's only like 5'10", 5'11" now or whatever, but he's like, I'm gonna be so short. I'm like, you'll be okay, you'll be
And
okay.
that growth spurt come out of nowhere. That growth spurt be phenomenal.
Yeah, he shot up like 6 inches in 1 year, and I was like,
See?
whoa. Yeah.
Crazy, ain't it?
And now my daughter, she's the exact opposite. She's like the tallest in her class. I'm like, what? Stop growing.
Well, some of you females, y'all grow faster than guys anyway. You know, you guys mature quicker than us. It's just a natural thing with you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny if you like look at the 6th, 7th, 8th grade. When you look at the boys, they look younger, and you look at the girls, and you're like, what? You know, because the women
But,
are
but
mature.
this subject is kind of like interchangeable with ninjas too, because like the whole not forcing stuff and all that. That's like when you're in a toxic relationship. You know what I'm saying? It's like you really want that your significant other to really accept you and really just be the way you want to be. And it's just like I just overcame that, y'all. And the way I overcame that is basically just like praying. I'm not a religious person, but I'm very spiritual, and I do believe that there's a higher power. So I just sat there one day and just asked the creator of all creations for comfort, and I just asked him to like just let me just really like see the true definition of life and how it's supposed to be. And it was like that small little voice told me, love yourself first. You know what I'm saying? When you start loving yourself and you start accepting yourself, that's when you can accept everything else around you. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I said, natural acceptance. Natural acceptance is what I learned. It's not. It don't even just have to be with other people and with other people and objects. It could be with yourself.
It's yourself.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Because sometimes you're not content with yourself. Sometimes you feel like you want to be smarter. Sometimes you feel like you want a better job. Sometimes you just feel like everything needs to be a certain way. But trust me, when you fall back and you let things naturally unfold and you let it just unravel, it's a better outcome.
Like,
It's a way better outcome. Cause I remember when like somebody in the comment section was saying, "Oh, money is keeping them from their success and this, that, and the third." But when you fall back and you realize it's really yourself keeping you from the money, then you realize that. Cause I used to force myself to try to get money. Like God blessed me to get it. Like say for instance, I'm gonna say it in a professional manner. I used to be a street pharmacist. And so now I don't have to do that because I turned my illegal money into legal money. But that was just me forcing myself to try to have money. You get what I'm saying? And I fell back like, hold on, it's a better way to do this. It's a way better way to do this. I was like, instead of me trying to force to be the man and force to get this money and stuff like this, let me relax. Let me sit back, let the creator of all creations, let it flow, let it go, and then he gonna let it show. You know what I'm saying? That's how I end up going. Even with my rapping, like I do music. Like I always can rap. Everybody always told me I could rap, but earlier stages of me rapping, I used to force things out. But now it's like I got a more of a natural flow, natural go. That's what I'm saying. You just gotta naturally go with the flow, guys. That's the lesson learned. Just naturally go with the flow, natural acceptance.
it's crazy when I sit here and I think looking in my past, like how many times I tried to force friendships, force relationships, force jobs, even, force myself to like this job because it paid well or the benefits were good. But like at the end of the day, like I had a great job sitting at a desk, typing stuff into a computer, benefits, possible to move up. I hated it. I was miserable. I was like, I can't do this every day for the rest of my life. And so I had to quit the job, and I took a less paying job with way less stability, way less benefits. And now I just, I work more for myself. I'm in like the remodeling field now, and I love it. And I mean, I don't have my 401k or any of that fun stuff where I want it to be yet, but
Love doing.
I don't mind waking up every day and going to work. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I don't
Like
mind.
a lot of people force themselves streaming. You know, and I always tell people what's meant for you is meant for you. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that went over y'all head, but everything is in divine order. Like everything, like how we live life and everything is set up the way it's supposed to. But when you force it, that's when things go bad. I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? He already blessed us with the 40 acres and a mule, this, that, and the third. But when you try to do it your way and you try to force it, it go as way as planned. So, like I said, some people force themselves to stream. Like, say for instance, me, I didn't even know I consider myself a professional streamer now. You feel me? I got portable equipment, portable ring lights. I fly, travel with my equipment, and my music, I'm very talented with my music, people tell me and stuff like that. But see, he wanted me to take a different path. He didn't want me to just be one of those artists that just hurry up and get on, force myself to get on, get signed to a record label. Because nowadays, a lot of record labels is giving out 360 deals. And a 360 deal means they get a percentage of everything you do. So, say for instance, me streaming, all the income and all that. Thank you so much. All that. See that rose I just got? If I was in the 360 deal, the record label would have got a piece of that rose. You know what I'm saying? So instead of forcing myself to get signed to a record label, this, then the third, I'm a successful independent artist.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't say I'm content with it. I would say I'm content with it. And if a record label does come across with the right type of offer instead of a 360 deal, and we can work an agreement, then I accept that. But until then, I'm naturally going with the flow, natural acceptance. Like this streaming stuff, I didn't know I was gonna be a big streamer. I'm on Tag. I'm a top streamer on Tag. I'm at almost 400 million diamonds, top 10 on the app. I didn't know that was gonna happen, but I naturally went with the flow. You get what I'm saying? So that's my lesson learned, y'all. I hope y'all take heed to that and just let go, let God. If you're not religious, if you're spiritual, still it's a creator of all creations. Let go and let God, let go and let the creator of all creations guide you through this. Don't force anything. Appreciate it simply. I definitely favored you too.
Yeah, you guys. So it really wow, it's crazy. Like especially on here, if you had asked me 13 months ago if I'd be hosting a show talking to guests about lessons that life's taught them, I'd have looked at you like you were like crazy, bet crap crazy, because this was not something I even knew was an option 13 months ago. I didn't know this existed 13 months ago. I didn't know the online.
I see something. I see something bigger in you. Your personality and just your whole aura and everything. The future reference, I can see you being an admin of the app. You feel me? You fit the part. You got the look. You got the personality. I can see you being an admin future later down the line.
I just want to keep doing good for people. I want to keep spreading the positive vibes. I want to keep letting people know that we all have ups and downs, and life is crazy. You know what I mean? It's just crazy how so many people have lived, they live in this fake happy bubble, and the only thing they let people see are all the good. It's only nobody can have troubles or issues or bad, and so you force yourself into this happy bubble and you only show the good, and oh God, it's the things that teaches this younger generation. It's outrageous.
I'm laughing at what Love said.
Embrace the yeah, embrace the suck, yeah, because going through life and being forced to believe that it has to always be okay. God, is that a rough way to live?
It is though. It is though, and I just want you guys to like really like kind of what Love Me said. Just embrace everything. Just you gotta just take heed to everything, and life is a lesson learned. Um, they always said that people don't understand that meaning either. When they say you live and you learn, you literally live and you learn. And everything I say is an entendre. Basically, you live, you learn to accept. You know what I'm saying? Live, learn to accept. Don't force anything. Like I'm gonna keep repeating myself because I don't want y'all to force nothing no more. Like like say for instance, even with this streaming stuff, people try to force people to like them, this, that, and the third. Um, Gift because you want to give. Gift with generosity. Don't give because you think, oh, it's gonna give me clout. Oh, it's gonna make me. You know what I'm saying? Gift because you want to. You know what I'm saying? If you feeling somebody vibe, if you feeling that energy, you know what I'm saying? Like I love Lilly energy. Because I promised somebody this level up. After I level up on them, I'm gonna come back and show Lilly love because I love her energy. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like don't force nothing. And I feel like even Lily has a natural spirit. She has a natural energy about her. She's not forcing anything or nothing like that. Like literally, I was just watching another feature show, right, Lily? And basically I felt like the host, I do agree with the audience. I felt like the host was like fake smiling and fake like she didn't want to be there, but she was like forcing it. But you on the other hand, you have a natural glow, you have a natural aura, you have a natural spirit about yourself, which is very dope. You feel me? So just keep going with the flow. You know what I'm saying? Natural
Make
acceptance.
me cry. I almost didn't cry this show. You're making me tear up. Come on
I
now.
mean, you know you're a good person, Lily. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gotta feather it too much. Like you just a dope person and I just love it. You know what I'm saying? But on that note, I'm gonna just end it, y'all. Like I'm just
When
ending
can we
on
find you on here? When do you stream on? When can we
okay,
find you on the
so
Meet?
you can find me streaming every day now. At first, I was just doing Meet Me part time because Tag is my home, but this is my second home now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, I feel like Ninja. I was former Black VIP, and now I'm Black VIP again because you know on here you got to be consistent. So I kind of glad they did that because that's gonna make. I got you back. I'm kind of glad they did that because it made me want to be consistent. See, on the other side, they give the other side leeway with the VIP. You can go months without doing nothing, and then you still be black. But over here, they want you to be on it. So that's giving me motivation to stream more. So you guys can catch me streaming every day. You know what I'm saying? I'm a business owner, so my schedule is flexible. I set my own hours and stuff like that. So basically, yeah, I stream every day. You know what I'm saying? Literally, I try to get like 2 to 4 hours in. So I'm pretty sure you.
Time. Is it
Um,
mornings or nights?
every I do
Okay.
mornings and nights. You
I
feel
look.
me? So,
Well, I've looked for you. I haven't been able to see you on. I don't know if I'm just.
okay, so I'm glad you said that. You probably more of a morning, so I'm afternoon late streamer. So you
Okay.
can catch me in the afternoon and late. You know what I'm
Cool.
saying? I appreciate that, something.
Got it.
Yeah, and you guys can, if you don't mind me saying this, you guys can check my music out on Apple Music, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, all platforms. Just
Write
type
it all underneath 16 still,
Week
right?
16. Don't space it. It's all in one. You ain't got to put the sun and all that. I just did that to soup it up because you know this is Meet Me and and streaming platforms. That's just the swag now. We got to add emoji.
Fancy.
Uh, so yeah, just Meet 16 on all platforms. You guys can find me no matter what you listen to. Heck, even on Deezer or whatever. What's an emoji? Emoji is you.
What's an emoji? Says emoji J.
Exactly. So yeah, so I just appreciate and it's a blessing that you guys have me on the show. Thanks Emoji J for reaching out. Thank you for accepting me, Lily. It's a blessing. Like I said, I stream every day. You guys check me out. When you fave me, I do check my fave list and I do fave back. I'm anti bougie. You know, I'm only bougie with certain stuff like getting manicures and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I'm a real people person and I'm a very humble, optimistic individual, very positive, and I feel like all of us are dope. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you again, Lily.
Well, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate the message. Again, for those of you guys just tuning in, this is Neek 16. You can check out his music. iCloud, Spotify. Check him out on here. He's on Tag. He said he was top 10 on Tag. And
Yeah.
it's crazy. And congratulations on all that, because I know
So,
that's a stressful journey to get up there. It really is.
really is, especially because I get genuinely gifted and I genuinely give people. It's nothing wrong with supporting those that support you, but it's a lot of diamond trading going on, a lot of backdoor stuff going on. Do you play on? Yeah, I do. I actually hook my microphone up. I be performing and everything, Elizabeth. So yeah, I definitely do all that. That's my content, and I be on TikTok and everything too. You guys, you need to get on TikTok. TikTok is dope. It'll help this too. You can bring people from TikTok to your Meet Me
Oh,
and to your tag. And
yeah, I get people from here to my TikTok, but I haven't gotten TikTok to here yet.
no, you got it. Have you reached 1K on TikTok yet?
I know I'm
As
probably
soon as you reach 1K on TikTok, you'll be able to go live. And when you're able to go live, you'll be able to explain them about this. Like you can tell them, hey, Meet Me is just like TikTok. You guys can catch me live. And that's how I generated them. You
nice.
feel me?
Nice.
You on TikTok too? Yes, I am. Everything is in my bio. But I ain't gonna hold you up too much. You know, it's a blessing that you had me on your show, and I hope everybody have a wonderful, blessed day. I will be in the comment section still because I know Lily will like to properly close the show
Yeah.
for questions and stuff. So let's have fun,
All
y'all.
right. Thank
Thank
you.
you, thank y'all.
Thank you. All right, you guys. And this is like the perfect question for the end of this show. But for those of you guys that are just tuning in, you missed two amazing guests. We had Ninja and Neek 16. And Ninja talked about toxic relationships and how to set boundaries and why it's important. And then Neek 16, we just talked about accepting things as they come, not forcing anything in life, be it work, be it relationships, be it jobs. So that being said, you guys, lessons learned. We're here every Friday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is in the process of getting featured. Let's go. And I'm going to close the show out with my quote and question. This one's pretty short and simple. And again, you do not answer now. You will answer next Friday morning. All right. You must know where to find yourself. Listen, you must know where to find yourself. Where do you feel most like yourself? Don't answer now. You'll answer this at the beginning of next week. Where do you most feel like yourself? Okay. So I'm going to put that in my book and we will start next week off with that quote. You guys, I want to thank you for being here. Again, you can catch me next week, 10 a.m. I want to thank you for the favorites. Thank you for the gifts or anything else that happened that I missed while I was talking with my guests. I do turn the comments off so that I can focus on the guests. I love you guys. I believe in you and never, ever, ever give up on your dreams. Okay. I'll see you guys next week.